We are on Facebook. So we'll welcome everybody who joins us on Facebook to our Havdalah with a bonus. And we will begin momentarily with Rabbi Rachel offering us a story and go on from there. So I'm going to spotlight you.
Hello, everyone. I'm starting to look through this book that I've been mostly using to tell the stories, and now that we've been doing this long enough, we're getting through most of them. So I'm gonna have to start looking elsewhere, but I'm trying to make sure if there's any good ones still left in here that I read it. And this one is very different from the other ones that we've done, but it still is interesting, especially because for those of you who will be unfamiliar with one of the characters in it, who is a real life character. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little fingers, the king sang happily to his grandson. 5 little, 5 little, 5. Lord Treasurer, what comes next? 6, your most excellent highness. 6 little fingers, called the treasurer through clenched teeth. Calm down, Lord Treasurer, the royal secretary advised as they returned to their work. What does it matter if the king can't count past 5? Calm down, he whispered. How can you remain calm when his ignorance brings our country to ruin? The treasury is all but empty. But can we blame him? He's a fool, but his foolishness has helped us do quite well for ourselves, the secretary said. He fingered the diamond on his ring and said, we'll just have to do what we always do. We'll sell some of his jewels or we'll impose a new tax. That usually buys us some time. The Lord Treasurer shrugged his shoulders in agreement and went to approach the king. Excuse me, Your Highness, he said. We hate to interrupt this delicious little game, but if you would permit us to have a word with you, there is a matter of extreme urgency. Oh, yes, of course, the king said in a brisk manner. Oh, a matter of importance to the nation. Of course. Run along, my dear, he said to the little boy. Grandpa has to be a wise king. My people need me. It's about money again, the Lord Treasurer said, showing him some papers. You see, we need some. Actually, we need a lot, and we've just about run out of people to tax. If you'll notice here in this book that I have filled with our numbers, the king watched bored as pages of numbers and formulas sped past his brain. I can understand him that sometimes. The more tabulations and columns he was shown, the louder he muttered to himself, the book. Suddenly he jumped up and shouted, that's it, I'm a genius. We shall tax the people of the book. What? Demanded the Lord Treasurer. The people of the book? Are you talking about the Jews? That will never work. The royal secretary poked the treasurer in the ribs. Your Majesty, let me explain, he said. These Jews in our kingdom, they aren't rich. They read and study all the time. That's why they're called the people of the book. You'll see we'll never get much money from them. Nonsense, said the king. Haven't you heard of the man they call the Holy Lion in the city of Safad? He's a scholar, but I hear he can perform miracles. Let him pay the tax or else. The king's advisors opened their mouth to argue, but he waved them away. I've made up my mind, he said. As of today, the people of the book are going to have a new nickname. How does the people of the tax sound? Rather nice ring to it, doesn't it? Word spread quickly of the king's new tax. The Jews would have to pay 1,000 pounds in gold by the next day, or else. The people of the book were taken by surprise. People talked, why us? What does the king want with us? We don't have that much money. How are we going to come up with that much money? What will become of this? The anguished voices of the Jews rose in the skies. They were carried by the wind and sea thousands of miles away to the land of Israel, where the man called the Holy Lion was listening. There, in the south of the city of Safad, the Holy Lion began to dig. With furious speed, he dug a hole into the sand with his bare hands. Then he reached down into the sand and started to pull something out with all his might. His eyes squeezed and his muscles bulged. And out of the sand, he pulled a huge gold-encrusted bed. And on that bed was the foolish king fast asleep. The man called the Holy Lion stared at him for a moment. And then he tapped the king on the shoulder. The king bolted upright, a sprinkling of sand pouring down his face. Guards, he cried, guards. And he looked around and said, where am I? Who are you? What am I doing here? He clutched his teddy bear, pulled the covers over his head and said, somebody pinch me. I'm having a terrible, awful dream. The Holy Lion sat gently on the edge of the bed. Allow me to introduce myself, he said quietly. My name is Rabbi Isaac Luria. I heard that you need a lot of money and you want my people, the people of the book, to give it to you. Is that right? Well, his calm tone assured the king, who stopped trembling and pulled the blanket down just a little bit so he could peek out and see. Of course, I'll help you, said the Holy Lion, but you must do something for me in return, all right? The king, who was starting to feel a bit better because he felt that he was talking to a reasonable man, nodded and even managed to smile a little bit. Good, the Holy Lion said, grabbing the king's hand and forcing a ladle into it. Now, take up all the desert sand and dump it into the sea by the morning, or else. For a minute, the king didn't move or speak. He looked at the label, which was just right about the size for spooning some gravy on a plate. Then he looked at the endless sand of the desert. Finally, he looked at the face of Rabbi Isaac Luria, understand why he was called the Holy Lion, for his eyes held a ferocious pride. But what you asked me is impossible, cried the king. You know it can't be done. Please, I beg you, let me go. I'll do whatever you ask. Just don't hurt me. I will not hurt you, but neither will I let you hurt my people, said the Holy Lion. The tax you imposed on the Jews is just as impossible as the tax I set on you, is it not? Now you will sign this document canceling your decree, or you will get to work with that ladle. He then held a piece of paper up to the king's face. But I don't know how to write, the king whined. Then use your signet seal on your ring, the Holy Lion said impatiently, dropping some wax on the paper. Be quick and you may go. The king gratefully pushed the design of his ring in the warm wax and closed his eyes with relief. When he opened them, it was morning, and he was back in his old bedroom. What a nasty dream, he said, grumpily shaking his head to clear it out. He was in a bad mood all day, in such a bad mood that he had no sympathy at all for the old man who appeared before him to represent the Jews. I see you've come empty-handed, the king sneered. That means you failed to come up with the tax you owe me, is that right? And the king thought he was pretty clever, all by himself arranging this. Yes, your majesty, the old man said in a voice just above a whisper. I have no gold. I bring only the prayers of the Jewish people that you will change your mind, or that the Holy Lion will somehow save us from a cruel fate. When the king heard Isaac Luria's name, his face went pale. Remembering how his nightmare had ended, he snatched up the document proclaiming the tax of the Jews. At the bottom was something that had not been there before, a smudge of bright red wax embossed with the royal seal and the words, I hereby cancel this document. It's null and void. The king's heart raced at the thought of his visit to the Holy Lion had really happened. But he controlled his fear and said, relax, old man. I was just testing you. I know you're poor. Of course, everyone does. But you displayed true bravery by coming here before me anyway. And so I'm going to reward the trust of your people. Lord High Treasurer, give this man 4, no 5. Lord High Treasurer? The treasurer looked uneasy. 6, your majesty? 6, yes, thank you, said the king. Please send him off with 6 trunks of gold. So somehow There was a real person called Azifloria. I don't know if he ever brought a king through the sand. That was pretty impressive. They don't tell us exactly where the king's kingdom was, but it was certainly far enough away. So he was known for the special magical things that he could do. So that is our story for tonight.
Magic is always good, right? On all the things that we can't explain, and there's always things we can't explain, it seems. So I'm going to share the blessings for Havdalah. One more, the last part to put up there, and we'll be set to be able to say goodbye to Shabbat for another week. There. So I invite you to light your candles. It's getting there. Okay. Well, I did better tonight than we did last night with lighting candles. So, and we do our blessings together. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei me'orei ha'esh borei me'orei ha'esh. Now you actually can do Havdalah on Saturday evening, but you can do it anywhere till Tuesday and have Shabbat last that long. So we take a few more moments just to savor the sweetness of Shabbat, the peace of Shabbat together, and the warmth of Shabbat. For those of you who don't have heat, the candle does provide some nice heat. And we put our candles out when we're ready, and our juice and wine. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimheira v'yameinu, Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hakiladi. And then I invite you to unmute so we can together sing Shavua Tov. Shavua Tov, 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 Shavua Tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Shavua Tov. I wish everybody a good week. We say goodbye to those people on Facebook and look forward to you joining us next Friday night for Shabbat evening services or next Saturday again for Havdalah.